I'm Simona, and I'm back with another review of Jocelyn's Cabaret, ATL Season 2, Episode 10. Yes, we are at Episode 10, y'all, so let's get into it. Basically, this scene starts off with the continuation of Jocelyn and Miss Natural, their confrontation. As y'all saw in the last episode, Miss Jocelyn was in her room, fake pretending to read a book, and that's when Natural came in. They started having their little confrontation and back and forth. So when the episode started off, it started with basically Jocelyn saying how Miss Natural still has the same attitude, same energies, and is basically that's why she's like toxic. She says in her confessional that she's like, I don't want to call her, say that Miss Natural's weird, but she's complicated. Like, aren't we all, honestly? So basically Miss Natural, she's trying to say that like she's hurt by Jocelyn. She's like, no, like I'm truly hurt. But Jocelyn keeps cutting her off. She's like, well, I'm hurt too. And in my head, I'm like, okay, like, I guess. And that's when Jocelyn started saying like me and you was gonna rumble, and I know you like wanted to fight me and I would have beat your ass, like all that shit or whatever. And she was like, I'm not scared of you. And I'm like, okay, you're saying all this now and making it seem like, oh, we was gonna fight, but we saw you. I mean, personally, I didn't watch the first season, but like I know that she did fight some of the people. You could have very well fought her. Like, you was over there trying to calm her down and then trying to kick her out. You was not on that rah-rah shit. So it's like, Jocelyn, I'm all right, whatever. And that's when Miss Natural was like, I was never going to try to fight you. That wasn't my intention. Like, I'm a mom. I have a whole ass case going on with my kid. I'm not about to lose my kid over no bullshit. And then here goes Jocelyn, her confessional. She's like, so what? We all had a case. I had a case with my baby too, and I won. You know why? Because I'm a winner. And I'm like, girl, like, just because you had a case with your kid, first off, it don't mean it's the same exact case. Like, that was you. Like, you won. Okay, cool. That don't mean, you know, everyone's situation is different. That's why I'm like, okay, Jocelyn's low-key kind of being like, not even low-key, she's being like an asshole. I don't know why she, like, granted, she didn't start this, Yummy started it, but it's like, you still did say the comment, you know? So it's like, why are you so irritated and pressed? But basically, Jocelyn's like, you're always upset. And Miss Natural's like, I'm upset with Yummy. Jocelyn's like, but you're upset with me. And Miss Natural's like, yeah, I am upset with you. And I'm telling you why. Because, you know, like I already explained to you why I was angry, why I was quote unquote acting toxic. She's like, and you keep on calling me toxic. And that's what's getting me like irritated. And here goes Jocelyn, like, I only called you at one time. And I was here when Miss Natural was like, no, you didn't. Like, we have you on camera. Like, damn. Like, she kind of low-key caught Jocelyn up. And Jocelyn knew she was caught up. But that's when Jocelyn kind of started acting like, you know, like, not extra, but it was just like, she knew, like, what else more can you say? Eventually, Miss Natural, she's just over it because Jocelyn's gonna keep on continuing to act dumb and act like she don't know what's going on. And I don't know, not I don't say play victim, but play like, oh, like, you know, you. So she just basically gives in and it's just like, takes a deep breath and it's like, okay, Miss Jocelyn, you're right, I have to get thicker skin. Like, just over it, you know, like, fuck it, like, you won. Because in her confessional, Miss Natural's basically like, you know what, we just gonna have to agree to disagree. Like, some people are gonna get it, some people aren't. Like, it is what it is at this point, so whatever. So then after Miss Natural finally like gives in to Jocelyn, then that's when Jocelyn's like admits that, okay, yeah, I do know what's going on with you. I knew about all your divorce and all your stuff, and when I said the comment to the makeup artist, I genuinely was not thinking of your situation, taking into consideration all the shit you're going through. I was just thinking of, you know, in the now, in the moment, how it was irritating me. But I did notice Jocelyn didn't really necessarily apologize, because after that, that's when Miss Natural, she apologizes for hollering and like admits that she needs to basically, you know, can get a better control of her emotions. And she's saying, telling her like, I'm still recovering, I'm still learning to love me, blah 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 blah. So they hug and make up. But I did peep that like Miss Natural apologized, but Jocelyn never apologized. And I'm like, granted, she admitted like, okay, I didn't take into consideration, but it's like, you could have apologized too. Like, you kind of, not even kind of, you did have her fucked up, honestly. So then they start kind of talking shit about Yummy, and Jocelyn was basically telling her like, don't let her like throw you out the game, like she's an evil little bitch, like all that shit. And then basically Miss Natural in the confessional is like, I do feel like Jocelyn respects me, yes, but it's a BS over no. And I feel like she should have said no to both of it. I mean, granted, in the moment it probably looked like Jocelyn like respects her, but we know with the confessionals and how Jocelyn be flip-flopping, she really honestly doesn't. Like, but Miss Natural don't really, I don't think, know that or peep that. But yeah, and then basically after that, Jocelyn in her confessional was talking about how, like, you know, I gave the bitch another opportunity, whoop-de-whoop. So then in the next scene, we have Jocelyn and Ballistic. They're laid up in the bedroom, and there's a knock at the door, and who could it be? It's Lucky and Sapphire with breakfast. So the girls prepared breakfast in bed for them to show their appreciation, and low-key to kiss ass a little bit is coming down to the wire. But basically they make them breakfast, and Sapphire's confessional, she's basically like, Jocelyn pays attention to who really wants it, so that's why she's kissing ass. And we know Jocelyn loves when someone is kissing her fucking ass. So basically, after they get the food or whatever, they're making like little jokes about like, oh, we want to see y'all in bed, whatever, shit like that. So after the girls leave, Jocelyn and Ballistic, they go in the other room to eat. First, they're just talking about the food. She was saying how she loves the biscuits. She don't really know about the grits because she's Puerto Rican. She didn't grow up eating grits like that, and they look kind of dusty to her. Jocelyn, she brings up how Boss Ted came to talk to Ballistic without asking her, and she was basically, you know, like, oh, is she a friendly ass hoe? Like, why that bitch, like, you know, like, what the fuck is she doing? And honestly, Ballistic covered for her, because he was like, no, she just came up to talk about her drinking stuff, and, you know, reiterate what he told her in that one episode. I don't know, I was like, honestly, I'm kind of shocked. Actually, no, I'm not shocked that he didn't tell Jocelyn how she was low-key kind of like overdoing it. I think he did that for a reason, because he knew it would be a whole big scene and blow up, so it's just like, we just gonna forget about that. You know, we know that he checked her on it, so it really don't matter at the end of the day, you know? He don't got really nothing to hide, but he did kind of cover for Boss Tech. But he basically sort of like, nah, she came to talk about the drinking, told her to keep her head in the game, whoop-de-whoop-de-boop. So then Jocelyn tells Ballistic about the whole her, Yummy P, and Miss Natural fiasco, and starts reiterating all the drama with that. Jocelyn was imitating how Miss Natural had got upset with her, and it honestly was hilarious because it was so accurate, especially when they showed like the flashback of like Miss Natural being like it was so accurate. Ballistic like asked her like, oh, like, what did you do? What did you do? And here goes Jocelyn. She's over there like, I was just like, uh-oh, like, here comes the time I gotta fight. Like, girl, like, once again, you was not on no rah-rah shit. You was calming that girl down because you was probably getting low-key a little scared, and then was trying to kick her out when she realized you couldn't calm her down. Anyways, so then in Ballistic's confessional, he's basically just saying how, like, no one should be ear hustling, you know, talking about Yummy and how, like, he don't fuck with that shit, and, like, you shouldn't be talking no shit that got nothing to do with you. So then Jocelyn, she's over there, she's dragging, like, Virgos, because, you know, Yummy P's a Virgo, but also so is Ballistic. And Ballistic is basically like, pause, like, don't get on us Virgos when you're a whole ass Scorpio, and so is Miss Natural's crazy ass, the one you talking about being so, like, you know, out there, like, pause. And then Ballistic brought up how, like, one time, I guess, like, him and Miss Natural were, like, in the house or side of the house, like, not alone together, but, like, there was no one else there, and how he heard Miss Natural literally just screaming at the top of her lungs to herself, just letting it out. And I was like, damn, like, I guess she really, I mean, granted, they already said how she was in her room crying and shit, but I didn't know, when they said screaming, I assumed it was her screaming on the phone with people. I didn't know she was literally just like, ah, like, you know, just screaming. So, like, okay, I can't see how it's like, whoa, like, girl, what is going on? And then Miss Jocelyn, after he brings up that, she makes a comment. She was like, oh, like, she's a porn star, and she makes it seem like she loves being a porn star, but you don't. Like, I know she hates it, and she hates herself, and I gave that bitch an opportunity to do something classy, and this is how she repays me. And I'm like, damn, because no lie, that is low-key true, because we did see Miss Natural crying about how she was tired of being known as being a porn star, and she wanted to get out of that. But in all honesty, it's like, you kind of can't get, I don't say you can't get out of it, but, like, people are going to know you for that, who have watched you. And when you put your face out there, put anything on the internet, even just like this YouTube shit, it's gonna be out there forever. But yeah, I was still kind of like, whoa. Jocelyn be hitting, like, she be hitting it where it hurts, like, for surely. But basically after that, Jocelyn's like, who do you think is the top 4? Like, I need help picking. And Ballistic straight up is like, well, it's for sure not Boss Tech. Like, that's out. I'm like, damn, but true. Like, she really hasn't, she's just been drinking the whole time. That's pretty much what she's been doing. And then she brings up how Yummy is kind of now because of the whole situation. And then basically says his top 4 that he would pick would be Lucky, Sapphire, Big Lex, and Lexi Blow. And then Jocelyn's like, what? So that was pretty much the end of that, and Jocelyn sticks like a rose in her ass, and he's like sniffing it. I don't know, some weird shit. So then in the next scene, we have Chanel, Boss Tech, and Miss Natural. They're outside, chit-chatting it up with each other, and just catching up. So they start with asking Miss Natural, you know, how she's feeling, like what happened with her and Jocelyn talking, like what's the catch up. And basically Miss Natural tells them how, like, they kissed and made up, they apologized, whatever. So then Chanel tells Miss Natural how like nobody fucked with what Yummy did, like no one was like on her side with that, and Boss Tech was agreeing and was like, yeah, like Jocelyn got in that ass. And they were just basically saying how, you know, Yummy pretty much played herself, and she honestly did. Like she did that shit thinking that it was going to backfire on Miss Natural, when it really backfired on herself. Completely just blew up in her face. And Boss Tech is even mentioning that too. She's saying how it's gonna be hard for Yummy to bounce back because she looks like a liar and manipulator. She is those things, exactly. Like everything was starting to just flow out. So then Chanel asks them how they felt about the therapy session, and Chanel makes a joke and is basically saying how he looked like an old Carlton Banks from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and they're all laughing about it. And then Bostic was saying how, you know, it was different and how, you know, she had never talked to a therapist like ever. And here goes Miss Natural. You need to. Like, bitch, the shade. Like, granted she does, but bitch, you did not have to say it like that. Basically after that, they just wrap it up saying how they're excited about the rehearsal, you know, things are getting down to the wire, and they basically got to focus and get that shmoney. So then Jocelyn comes out by the pool, and she's over there dancing with her like ass out and shit, and they're just talking about how fine she is and how in love they are with her. And even Miss Natural says how like her 10-year-old son is like completely in love with Jocelyn. And that was pretty much the end of that scene. It was very quick, just little catch up. So in the next scene we have Big Lex and Lexi Blow. They're downstairs playing pool, and they start reminiscing about all the drama that just happened with Miss Natural and Yummy P and Jocelyn, and how Jocelyn calling them out the room, and how they know when she calls them out, it's time to fucking go. So after they having their quick conversation, that's when Yummy walks in and joins. And they basically ask her, you know, like how she's feeling. And Yummy's basically like saying how she feels okay, and how she feels like the drama with Miss Natural is something that Miss Natural created, and that she concocted this whole scene in her head because everything came left field the past 2 days. And I'm just like, is this bitch fucking crazy? Like, literally Yummy P is fucking crazy. Like, first of all, you started all this drama, like literally all of it. Like, so for you to say that Miss Natural like made this up in her head and starting all this shit, like you're literally delusional. It's crazy. After Yummy P says that, Lexi Blow is like, I mean, I just feel like she was just trying to, you know, say how she felt, like just get shit off her chest. And here goes Yummy. She was like, well, I'm not someone's gonna sit up here and argue with you. Basically, she's like, we trying to get active, then I'm gonna get active. Like, okay, we clearly could see that you were low-key scared. Yummy P's talking about some, oh, like Miss Natural's crazy, she needs a fucking straight jacket. Once again, Yummy P is the crazy one. Like, seriously, crazy. So then Yummy starts bringing up how negative Miss Natural is, and how she's always in her room crying, which was fucked up, because it's like, you for sure knew why she was crying, because y'all was friends, or you was making it seem like y'all was friends. So that's kind of fucked up to use that against her. But when she brings that up, Big Lex, and I fuck with her for this, because she clears her throat and she's like, I really don't give a fuck. Like, I don't care about how you feel, how Miss Natural feels. All I care about is how you threw Jocelyn under the bus and you crossing her, because how the fuck are we supposed to trust you? Which is true. It's like, if you're gonna do it to the person who runs this shit, how are we supposed to work with you? And Yummy's confessional, she's basically like, oh, I didn't betray Jocelyn, I was just speaking the truth. Like, yes and no. Technically, that was what you said was true, what came out her mouth was true, but you did betray her, because that wasn't supposed to come out your mouth. It was supposed to stay with you. So then Yummy basically is defending herself, and she's like, oh, it wasn't intentional, it was in the moment, all that shit she was saying before. And the girls ask her, like, don't you feel bad for disrespecting Jocelyn? Like, you don't feel bad at all? Like, you know, like, you just chilling about this? And Yummy's over there like, no, I do feel bad, I genuinely do, and I've apologized multiple times. And Lexi Blow basically tells her, like, you know, there were so many other things you could have said. Like, if your intention was to truly hurt this girl, if that's what you wanted to do, okay, fine, but you didn't have to throw somebody else in the mix, especially it being Jocelyn. Like, that's hella like extra, you know, period. And Yummy's basically like, oh, if I could take it back, I would. And Big Lex cuts her off immediately. It's like, there's no taking it back. Lexi Blow, she asked Yummy, like, so do you think it's beneficial for you to even stay in this house, knowing that, you know, you fucked up pretty bad? Big Lex jumps in immediately, and it's like, absolutely no fucking way she shouldn't be in this house. And Lexi Bow's kind of like, wait, chill. Like, I'm asking her. Like, I want to see, you know, like, how she feels. And Lexi Bow's like, nah, period. Like, Jocelyn, don't fuck with her. And if you're not a down-ass bitch, then I don't fuck with you. Like, what else is there to say? And then Yummy's like, I am a down ass bitch. And then here she goes throwing Miss Natural, or throwing another person under the bus again. She's like, I am a down ass bitch. Miss Natural's talked about everybody in this house. And I'm like, oh Lord. And then Big Lex tells her, like, look, like, I just don't want you to air me out and throw me under the bus. You do that to me, I'm basically gonna have to run up on you. Like, I'm not the one. So then Big Lex brings up how Jocelyn had mentioned how, like, she feels like Yummy knows Miss Natural's triggers and plays upon them. She was telling her, like, one side of it, like, you know, I'm a grown-ass woman. I'm not about to babysit no other grown woman. But on the other side of it, I'm also not about to be hella messy and play with somebody's, like, triggers and really, like, you know, like, get them to pop off. And then Yummy's response back, she's like, oh, I wasn't trying to play with her triggers. She was yelling at me. Yummy just likes to play the victim, like, over and over and over again. Like, she really does not see no wrong in what she did at all. So then Lexi Blow asks her, like, okay, well, what did the therapist, like, you know, tell you to do? MEP is like, oh, well, he told me to write a letter to Jocelyn. And Big Lex, once again, immediately is like, that's not gonna work. Like, she's literally gonna take that letter and wipe it with her ass. And honestly, I think Jocelyn really would do something like that. And Lexi Blow is telling her, she's like, you know, well, we talked to the doctor for a reason, so that if anyone had any baggage, they keep that with them, you know, leave it behind, because we're getting down to the wire now. We really need to focus, and no one got time for that. So do what you gotta do to work your magic to try to, you know, get good on Jocelyn's graces. And they basically both telling her, like, you know, like, hopefully it'll all work out in the end. All right, so then on the last scene, we have Jocelyn and Ballistic in the little downstairs pool basement thingy, where the girls are about to perform for the last time to see who's gonna be in the top 4. So Ballistic's like up in like the little booth or whatever, and Jocelyn's like staying out in front of the girls. Basically, Jocelyn's telling the ladies how it's the last day of the rehearsal and how it's like the last day to basically show her who's gonna be in the top 4. And then she starts talking about how she already has like 500 people to RVSP. Yeah, she said it backwards because Ballistic was like, wait, what the fuck? But Jocelyn basically starts picking out the groups because she's got them perform in like 2 sets of 3 and then a set of 2. And Yummy was over there mumbling how she didn't want to perform with Miss Natural. And they're just like, are you serious? Like, you can't be professional? And Jocelyn was like, okay, so since you say you don't want to perform with her, well, now you're going to perform with her. And then she calls her out for her gun, which Yummy should for sure know, especially being a trained dancer. Like, it's the first thing they teach you. Don't ever perform with gum in your mouth, and don't mouth the lyrics when you're dancing. Like, the 2 top rules. So I don't even know why she was trying it. So the first group up is Yummy P, Lucky, and Miss Natural. So keep in mind, when the girls are performing, the way they edit the video, it's like you don't really see it fully, like full out them performing. Like, they show like they'll close up on one and then another one, then maybe show them together for a quick 2 like seconds. So keep that in mind. You can't really see the whole thing. So this is just what I thought from the perspective that I can see it. So those 3 go up and perform. The timing was off, but the energy for the most part was all there. Like, that 3 for sure, like, out of all the girls, once you see like the rest of them, were like the best. I feel like those 3 in general, like, I feel like they all did pretty good. Like, I feel like they were pretty much like on the same level. Only thing I would say is that Miss Natural just needed more facials, because even though I couldn't really see Yummy as much, I could still catch her facials, and Lucky had facials, but that's the only thing. So they actually did pretty good. So then the next group is Sapphire, Big Lex, and Chanel. And before they go on, Jocelyn reminds them that she's separating them for a reason, based off their pure dancing skills, not off the drama and the BS. I forgot to mention that in the last group, she made Yummy go to the left, and then Miss Natural and Lucky go to the right. So yeah, so she's telling that to the new group that, you know, she's not being biased at all, so on your dancing ability. So when they performed, I will say they definitely weren't as good as the previous group. That was for sure. There was a big difference. I feel like Sapphire did the best out of those 3. But after they finished performing, Jocelyn straight up was like, are y'all drunk? Like, y'all look drunk performing. And then Chanel's confessional, she's over there like, I mean, I was, but I wasn't gonna tell her that. Like, Lord, like, you really are an alcoholic. Jocelyn was right. Jocelyn, she starts getting on Big Lex for sliding back her chair, because there's a part where she like pushed it back hell, and she was like, you can't do that. Like, you know, just push it back a little bit. And in Jocelyn's confessional, she's like, Big Lex is still lost and don't have the dance down, which I completely agree with and have been saying. That's why when Ballistic was like, oh, she top 4, I'm like, because she's friends with him? Because that don't make no sense. She says Sapphire fucking up, and Chanel, she's not even looking at her dusty ass because she's too busy staring at her belly. I'm like, damn. So she sends all 3 of them to the right. So then the last group to go is Boss Tech and Lexi Blow. And before they even start performing, Jocelyn straight up says, oh, Boss Tech, like, I know you don't got the dance. Like, I'm gonna still watch, but I don't think you got it. And then she's gonna be like, I don't want to rain on your parade before you start, because that's not fair. Like, it's a little too late for that. Like, you literally just rained on her whole parade and told her that you don't have any faith in her. But okay. So then they perform, and I will say, like, to be real with you, I feel like them two did better than Sapphire in that group, but Lexi Blow was the best, and I finally got to see what everyone was talking about, because I think the dance instructor, I think Rachel, she pointed out, other people have pointed out, well, we never got to really, like, see her perform, but I see it. Like, Lexi Blow, not only does she has the rhythm, and she has, like, the energy, but she's very sensual, and she has facials, and she's very just... She got it, definitely. And Boss Tech, she wasn't bad either, but she just wasn't as good as Lexi Blow, that's for sure. Like, Lexi Blow definitely did stand out. After that, Jocelyn sends Lexi Blow to the left and Boss Tech to the right. So then Jocelyn asks Ballistic, like, what does he think? And he tells them that it's still rushed. And he's like, honestly, everybody's rushed throughout the dance except for the last group. And he's talking about one, like, specific move where they're supposed to, like, pause or whatever and do it. He was like, but y'all close. So then Jocelyn basically tells the ladies, that everyone to the left, which is Lexi Blow and Yummy P, that they did the best out of everybody. And I'm like, damn, that's only 2, not even, like, 4. And then Jocelyn starts going back to the girls who didn't get picked, and she starts telling them, like, she's like, oh, Lucky, like, you know, like, I would want for you to do this. I want for all of you to do this. And then she's like, Chanel, you were all the way off, like, off. And then Chanel's like, well, I asked if we should do everything to the beat, but every time I see the video, it's faster than the beat. And I'm like, ooh. That's kind of on Jocelyn's part. Jocelyn starts doing the move that everybody was like off on, trying to go over it or whatever. And Ballistic has to call her out, and he was like, babe, like, you not doing it right. He's like, you messing up like them. He literally tells her, like, do it, but do it on the beat. Like, you missed a step. Like, you went straight into it, just like how I told them they were doing it. In Lucky's confessional, she was saying, she was like, everybody is trying to watch Jocelyn do it, but each video is different, so you have no right answer to which move is right. And I'm like, ooh. Going back to what we said in the very beginning of the season, Jocelyn can't really teach choreo like that. When she first taught it, it was like, what the fuck? Like, she never taught it. Like, she really just showed it. So then it's like, okay, and not saying everyone has to do it on counts, because you can dance to the beat, but if you do it to a different beat every time, then that's on you. You can't even get mad at them. So with that being said, Jocelyn's like, all right, so then what do y'all want to do? Because, you know, she fucking up on the same thing y'all fucking up on. She can't really talk. So obviously the girls want to try again. So Jocelyn's like, all right, cool. So the first group up is Lucky, Sapphire, and Chanel. They perform. I didn't pay much attention to Chanel. They didn't honestly put the camera on her a lot. And it's sad because, like, I can tell Sapphire is really trying, but it just doesn't look right on her. Like, it looks just awkward. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel bad because I could tell she really is trying, but she just is just not there. And Lucky definitely did better, and Lucky got moved to the left after that. When Jocelyn moves Lucky to the other couch and Boss Tech's confessional, she's over there like, oh, okay, like, Lucky's your girl, but let's keep it 100. She was messing up and doesn't deserve to sit on that couch. I'm like, I don't know about that. Like, I would say, honestly, her and Lucky damn near on the same level. I don't say she doesn't deserve to sit on the couch because she was definitely better than the rest in her group. But I guess I could see how there is some type of biasness, because even when she first went up to the girls, she didn't at first say, oh, I want everyone to be in it. She's like, Lucky, you know I want you to be in this. Like, literally excluded everybody. So then Miss Natural, Boss Tech, and Big Lex perform. And same thing, like I said, with the editing, all that shit, you can't really see it like that. But I will say who stood out to me was Miss Natural and Boss Tech. They did the best. Big Lex, it's just a no. It's a no. But Jocelyn ends up picking Miss Natural to move to the left. Jocelyn's like, these 4 did the best. And then she starts talking to Sapphire directly. And she was like, I'm sorry, Miss Captain. Like, I thought you did so good yesterday, but look at today. And then Sapphire's like, oh, no excuses, but I put my energy into these girls every day, and I've been bringing everyone together, so I'm just, you know, even shocked that this happened. And then Miss Natural does give her props and basically telling her, like, no, like, you've been a good captain, you've been honest, you've been scheduling, like, when to practice, like, you know, like, don't put yourself down. Everyone pretty much agrees, like, yeah, girl, like, you was on your shit being captain. And then Sapphire, in her confessional, she's like, I put so much energy into everybody, I should have saved some for myself. And, like, okay, but like I said, she just looks awkward doing it. Like, it's just not for everybody. So then Boss Tech, she starts thanking Jocelyn and is basically like, oh, thank you for this opportunity, blah blah blah. And Jocelyn and Reps are like, skirt skirt, like, we're not even done yet. She was like, look, my final decision will be made right before the performance. And I'm kind of like, damn, like I kind of did want her to just pick the 4 and then we finally move on. Like, granted, the girls should, like, I guess get another chance. I don't know if that's really gonna change anything, but I kind of wish she just would have picked, because out of all of them, like, honestly, those were the best. Only other person I could think that could be like, maybe replaceable, Lucky and Boss Tech, kind of same level, but besides that, like, that's pretty much it. Like, I don't know who else there is to choose. Or if you, I mean, I'm not saying you can't improve the next day, but you know, like, after that, basically the rehearsal ends and all the girls go upstairs and Jocelyn's like, oh, I'm gonna stay down here, dance for my man. She on the floor twerking or whatever. And Yummy stays behind to talk to Jocelyn. So she basically comes up to her and she thanks her for letting her stay in the house and like apologizes for yesterday. And Jocelyn tells her straight up, she's like, look, at this moment, you don't get to talk to me. The only thing keeping you here is literally your dancing. So thank your dancing gods. That's the only thing I care about coming from your mouth after all the shit you pulled last night. And I'm like, damn. And Yummy just gets up. She's like, okay, like, I won't do it again. Like, yeah, bruh. And that was the end of that episode. The highlights on the next episode really aren't that much because the season is winding down. They just show Jocelyn and Ballistic. It looks like they damn near having like a little sex scene in the tub. I'm like, ew. And then they show like Lucky, Boss Tech, Chanel, and Yummy train up for Lucky's birthday. I guess Lucky almost got cut off on her birthday. And then they show the actual cabaret, like it getting set up, and like a snippet of like the girls performing, like all the girls performing for like the last, like, you know, rehearsal to see who's gonna get picked. And then Jocelyn's over there saying, y'all fucking up, y'all not ready for this performance. Like, bruh, you don't pick somebody by next episode. Like, this is a whole ass scam. Like, come on. But that is the end of this review. If you like this review, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and follow me on all my socials, and I'll see y'all next time. Thanks for watching.